All right, we're going to start with our legs in Baddha Konasana up the wall. So butt to the baseboard, soles of the feet touch. Let the knees bend, the hips open wide. And allow the feet just to kind of fall in towards the inside of the body. Hands can go wherever you want to take them. Belly to the sides, chest, knees. Just close your eyes. Allow yourselves to settle here in this pose. Relax the butt so the hips can open. And just begin to deepen the breath. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Allowing the day to just settle. Allowing the mind to settle. The body to settle. Let the belly button fall to the spine. Just naturally though, you don't have to pull it in. Maybe the feet still are creeping down the wall as the hips open and open more and more. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. Relax your toes and your fingers, your wrists and your ankles. Relax your forehead, your eyes. And I want us to focus our intention today on a faith like Daniel. So Daniel was just a young boy and he was in the den with the lions. And of course we know lions are not usually man's best friend. But he had faith that the lions wouldn't hurt him, that they wouldn't eat him, that they wouldn't bite him or tear him up. He had faith. And he was stuck in a small den with these lions. Go ahead and take your hands, put them on the insides of the knees or the thighs. Kind of just push on the legs a little more to get the hips open now that you're relaxed a little bit more. And maybe with every exhale you push a little more. If not, you can kind of just stay where you're at. But through adversity, through crisis, through hysteria, through craziness, through stress, anxiety, depression, when we feel like we might be stuck in a den with lions surrounding us, we can still have faith. We can still not allow our minds and our bodies and our world to be shaken. We can speak to the mountain and tell it to crumble and fall. We can speak to the storm and tell it to stop and be calm. But we have to have that kind of faith. We have to believe in that kind of faith. Build like a muscle that kind of faith. Take a nice deep breath in. A nice deep breath out. Hands come to the outsides of the knees or the thighs. Help the legs come in with your hands, not using the legs at all, but the hands push them in. Windshield wiper those legs back and forth. And we're going to take a spinal twist. So with the feet on the wall or the baseboard, we're going to just allow the bent legs to fall to the right. Close-eyed gaze over the left shoulder for just a nice spinal twist. You don't have to pull on the legs. Just let gravity do the work. Just let them fall naturally to the right. Backs of both of your shoulders are flat on the mat. And settle in. When we go to the doctor and they give us medicine or they tell us to eat a certain way or exercise, we have to have some type of faith in them to believe and actually do the things that they tell us to do. We have to trust them. And sometimes when people go to the doctors or surgeon, it's a lion's den situation where they're really scared. Lots of fear is overcoming them. And maybe you or I have been in that situation. And the first thing we want to do is panic, which is normal. But after the panic, let your faith set in. And what an amazing world we could live in is if the panic would never set in, if our flesh would never rise up, but if we would just allow faith to be the first thing, just to kick in. Nothing else. Kind of like just it would kick into autopilot or like cruise control. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Hug the knees into the chest, taking the legs to spinal twist to the left. Close-eyed gaze over the right shoulder this time. And settle in. But we're not perfect and we don't live in a perfect world. So the flesh thing, the person thing, the human nature thing is to panic a little, be afraid. Just remember to allow your faith to kick in. The more we walk in faith and not by sight, the easier it kicks in. You don't think about where the buttons are in your car or the feeling of where the seat needs to be. It just is there. You're used to it unless somebody gets in your car and changes the mirrors or the adjustment of the seat. You're used to it. It's where you are at most of the time. And that's easy for you. It just is an autopilot. But when things change, when our world gets shaken, sometimes that autopilot's like, whoa, what's going on? Do I need to speed up? Do I need to slow down? Do I need to stop? And most of the time, we just need to stop, breathe, pray, meditate, and then allow our faith to kick in. A lion's den faith, a Daniel faith. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Bring the legs back to center. And bring your feet flat to the wall. Feet are about hips width distance. And all we're going to do here is we're just going to pop up on the toes. So we're just going to basically lift the heels. So when you lift the heels and you pop up on your toes, drop your tailbone down. So I don't want you to lift your butt. It naturally wants to lift, but I want you to drop it back down, but keep the toes lifted up and the heels off the wall. And then just stay there. So we're engaging everything from the hips all the way down to the toes. Kind of feels good to maybe rub the backs of the thighs or the fronts of the shins or the tops of the knees. But keep those legs engaged. Maybe the outsides of the calves, the back of the calves. Maybe even put your hands behind the knees. That kind of feels good. And take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, drop the heels and pull the toes back. So engage the legs in a different way, flexing the feet. You can kind of splay the legs out to where the belly, the chest kind of goes in between those thighs. That kind of feels good to me today. I've been painting. Started a project that I wish I would not have started, but when you start it, you gotta finish it so your house isn't in disarray. So it just feels good to be still in this moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. A few more inhales and exhales here. So this pose, legs up the wall, is great for all kinds of stuff. I'm sure you've heard me say it, but it's good for circulation, thyroid, high, low blood pressure, anxiety, depression, insomnia, even high cholesterol. Relax those feet. Take the legs up the wall, but I want you to point the toes once you get them up there. So your heels are going to be on the wall, and you're pointing your toes. Whew, mine kind of tightened up. Point the toes, activating the legs in a different way. My foot wants to keep cramping up. Take about 3 more Ujjayi breaths here. And then slowly bringing those feet back down, flat to the wall. So on our next inhale, we're going to slowly begin to lift the butt. Keep the feet flat on the wall. I want to say floor. Keep the feet flat on the wall and lift your butt up as high as you can with the feet still being flat on the wall. So I don't want the feet way up on the wall because you can really lift the butt up that high or higher. I want them to be lower. And then lift the butt with the feet flat on the wall. So you should feel this in the fronts of your shins, fronts of your legs, lower legs, butt, of course. Drop your tailbone here, but lift the butt. That makes you pull your belly button to the spine. Keep your head straight if you can, not looking to the right or the left, or torque on the neck. We don't want to do that. Take 3 more Ujjayi breaths here. When your 3 Ujjayi breaths are done, slowly lower the bum down. And then just walk the feet up 1 step. So 1 foot, 1 foot. Take a nice deep breath in and begin to lift those hips again. So this time with the feet being flat on the wall, you can lift higher. And you're going to feel this more in your calves, maybe your shins still. Keep the breath moving. Don't turn the head to the right or the left. If you want to and you have a pillow or a block near you, you can put it underneath your butt to kind of help. Or if not, you can put the hands back there behind the hips. Or nothing, it doesn't matter. Take 3 more breaths. When your 3 breaths are done, you're going to lower those hips down 1 vertebrae at a time. And walk the feet up 1 more step. So you're probably feeling this in the fronts of your legs. I'm feeling it at least. With the feet flat on the wall, take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, lift those hips as high as you can with the feet on the wall. So now you might be feeling it in the backs of your thighs, the butt, of course. Again, you can use the hands to hold the hips. Don't turn the head right to left. 3 more breaths. When your 3 breaths are done, you're going to slowly lower those hips. Take the feet up 1 more step. So your knees are probably still bent. Mine are still a little bent. So feet up 1 step. Press the feet into the wall. Nice deep breath in. As you exhale, lift those hips. So as high as you can without hurting your neck or your shoulders. And the feet are flat on the wall. Hands on the hips if you need that support. If it's in your practice, you can kind of roll your shoulder blades under your back, interlace the fingers behind the back. Keeping your head straight, 3 more breaths. When your 3 breaths are done, if you're interlaced and shoulders are rolled underneath the back, you have to release them and then slowly release the hips. Taking the legs straight up, heels on the wall for a second. Give the legs a break. Woo woo. Wiggle out your toes. All right, so your heels are on the wall. We're going to begin to lift our hips up on our next exhale. As high as you can take them. Legs are straight up the wall this time, as high as you can take them, and you're kind of making like a lean-to with your body. Again, you can use your hands to hold those hips. Feet can be flat on the wall, or you could be on the heels, kind of stretching those legs out. Again, if it's in your practice, you can interlace the fingers behind the back, roll the shoulder blades under. Don't move your head right to left. 3 more breaths. So we're kind of making our slide with our body. When your 3 breaths are done, if your shoulders are rolled under, if your fingers are interlaced, release that. And then slowly let your heels connect to the wall still and drop your hips down. So your legs are just straight up to the wall. Take 1 big breath in through your nose and 1 big breath out of your mouth. One more big breath in through the nose. 1 big breath out of the mouth. Dropping those legs down to Baddha Konasana, very first pose we were in. Seeing how this one feels, giving those legs a break. Take 3 breaths in your Baddha Konasana. Really relaxing the butt so that the legs can fall, the feet can fall to the inside of the body. Keeping the right leg in Baddha Konasana. Maybe even pulling it down to the inside of the body more. Maybe holding the ankle there of the right leg. Extend the left leg up to the wall. And just relax that top leg and pull the right leg in, the right heel into the inside of the body. Take 3 Ujjayi breaths here. When we do yoga poses, we have faith maybe in the yoga instructor, in the yoga poses, the asanas, that they will do the job that they are supposed to do. But we have to, first of all, show up, roll out our mat. And 2, we have to relax in the poses in order for them to actually do their job. So we have to have faith, but there's a little bit of motion there as well. We have to put it into action. Go ahead and slowly switch the legs. Left leg comes to Baddha Konasana. Right leg goes up. Pull that left leg down to the inside of the body. Relax that right leg that's on the wall. So faith is an action word. Even though faith is something that we believe in and that we hope for that's not there, it's still an action. It's still something that we have to do. I can't just sit at my house and say, I want to have muscles. I have to lift weights. I have to practice yoga. I have to work out. I have to eat healthy. I have to do things. And with that work comes progress, comes maybe a goal that is being met that I want to see happen. And it's not here right now, but I work on it to see it happen. And then I have another goal. And faith is the same way. We have to put some action sometimes behind it. We have to pray. We have to meditate. We have to believe. Believing is an action. Trust is an action. You have to trust your spouse, your friends, your family, your doctors. Take both legs up to the sky. Again, 1 more big breath in. Lift up on those heels and make that slide again 1 more time with your body. So your heels are connected to the wall and you just slide up. Take 3 Ujjayi breaths here. Body's nice and long. When your 3 Ujjayi breaths are done, Slowly let the heels stay connected to the wall and just slide the bottom down. Take a nice deep breath in. Hold that breath in for as long as you can. When you can't hold the breath in anymore, let the breath go out of the mouth, and you can leave your legs here up the wall, Baddha Konasana, or you can push yourself away from the wall, whatever's comfortable for your Shavasana. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. A nice deep breath out. Maybe you wiggle your fingers and your toes, your nose. Maybe you find some movement in your ankles, your wrist, your hips. And slowly, wherever you're at, begin to hug the knees into the chest. Rolling off to right or left side, it doesn't matter. And take a nice deep breath in through your nose. A nice deep breath out. One more inhale. As you exhale, slowly rise up. Let your head be the last to rise. Coming to sit in Sukhasana or any comfortable seated position at the top of your mat. With a nice straight tall spine, inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhaling your hands to heart. I thank you guys for practicing with me tonight. Getting a little active, but getting some rest as well, finding that balance. And I pray maybe when we feel like we are in a den and we can't get out, we're kind of stuck, or we feel like we're surrounded by lions or problems or anxieties or worries or troubles, or maybe it's just people that we have to deal with every day. I pray that we have faith like Daniel, to know that God has got his back, that he's going to protect him from whatever is surrounding him, whatever circumstances we are in, that God's got our back. And having faith that we're going to prevail over whatever it is, no matter what. And remember, faith is an action word. Believe, pray, meditate, and live by walking by faith and not by sight. Until we meet again, may we all be healthy, happy, and safe, and faithful. We bow forward with grateful hearts, sharing Namaste.
Namaste.